Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Rebuilding Portsmouth. Now, in our last episode we actually had a bit of a stripy jumper job on Fulham, although we didn't really rob them because we scored 3 goals and we've been really good lately. Okay, not really good, we've been better. Like, we got the draw at Liverpool, close cut win against Sunderland, better result at home to Burnley, and then a great result away at Fulham, which really did please me immensely. Now, before we get into today's episode, I just wanted to talk about something. I've been enjoying a lot of the tactical advice you guys have gave me over the past couple of episodes, because it's been testament to, firstly, how little I know about Football Manager, not that I pretend that I do, and secondly, how much you guys do actually know about Football Manager, and that is great, because I'm glad to have you on my team, frankly. I wouldn't want to be playing against you. But I think that the tips that I've kind of amalgamated from all of your guys' suggestions has kind of contributed to the tactic that we're playing now. It's kind of, I've taken bits from everywhere, basically. But a lot of people were saying to me, basically, there's not enough old players in your team. And as far as I'm aware, and I may be wrong about this, but I'm pretty certain there isn't a stat for experience or that makes any difference to anyone. Also, like, I don't see the point in buying old players, because they cost lots of money, you can't sell them on for any more than you buy them for, and their wages are astronomical. The reason we've got so much money to spend at the moment is because I haven't been doing that. And look at what we've been achieving without doing that so far. Not only that, but I think you guys need to understand that the players we've got, although they may well have been youngsters when we bought them, they're not youngsters now. Jed Wallace is, look, I mean, our starting 11 at the moment. Backman is 26. He's not a youngster. Marcelo, okay, is 21. Webster's 25. What was 24. Charlie Taylor's 27. These are not youngsters, in my opinion. Our back four is actually relatively okay for that kind of thing. Yes, okay, we've got Ovancic, but he's a really talented player, so why on earth would I not pick him? You know, it's simple as that, really. I wouldn't go out and buy a 30-year-old defensive midfielder who isn't as good as Tony Ovancic and then play him instead. It just doesn't make any sense, because it would cost me a lot more in wages for a start. Arsene Hoos is 22, okay, fine. Jeb Wallace is 26 now. These guys were youngsters at the start of the series, but they're not anymore. Charlie Mouson's 24, McAvoy's 26, Burrell, okay, is 19, but when you look on the bench as well, Yanko's 25, Mantum's 28, Hyam's 24, Osborne and Powell are both 26, Dudgeon's 30, Torres Crespo's like 29, no, 24, sorry. Wow, he's younger than he looks. Point is that we've actually not got that many young players. They're just good players. We do have some young players, of course, but, you know, that's just the way we do things in this save. That's why I've been doing things the entire length of this save. You know, players that I like to bring players through rather than just buying really expensive players. I did look at people. I tried to sign Jack Wilshere. I don't know if I actually said this in a video, but I did tell someone in the comments this. I tried to sign Jack Wilshere in the summer because he was a free agent after being released by Arsenal. Wouldn't even talk to us. None of them would. Any free agent players that were slightly older and more experienced, I used air quotations there, that would have actually been good enough to play in the first team, other than just warming the bench, which would have been pointless because then they'd have been unhappy and upset the squad morale. None of them would talk to us. They just didn't care. The reputation of the club hasn't gone up enough for me to actually attract these types of players at the moment. Wilshere eventually signed for Sunderland because, you know, they're doing so well at the moment. They're bottom of the league, by the way. To give you an idea, and yes, they gave him 60k a week, but the point is we could probably have afforded that if he'd just talked to us. I probably wouldn't have gone for it anyway, because frankly we didn't need it at the time, but, you know, hindsight's a very powerful thing and all that. But yeah, I just wanted to show you the fact that we actually don't have that many youngsters in our team. Burrell, Ovancic and Marcelo are pretty much, oh, Millington when he comes off the bench, but other than that there is no one under 21. Other than those few. And I think that's a decent balance for now, really. You know, they're not that young. We've been doing this for several years now, so people would still consider Jed Wallace to be a youngster, probably. He's 26. But there we go. So, yeah, rant over. I'm not really ranting, of course. I just wanted to make a point about the fact that I don't really feel that buying old players is helpful to the way we're trying to build this team up right now, because it would just stunt us, and we'd end up losing loads of money. And that reminds me, actually, I need to show you our wage spending compared to the other teams in this league, but I'll show you that once we've got to the table, because we've had a couple of interesting games this month. The first game of the month was at home to Spurs, and we kept our third consecutive clean sheet, and it was glorious. I mean, it was a woeful match, like genuinely terrible. Nothing happened in it at all. Bernard got injured, that's about it, like literally nothing. I don't recall that actually being a highlight. I don't know if there was or not. No, there wasn't. I can't remember. There wasn't a single highlight in this game. Usually I'll start a game and then I get a drink or something, so just to see what's kind of, well, not really, no, that's not usually what I do, but like this one I literally could have. I could have come back and it would have just been half time, and then I pressed it again and it would have been full time. Nothing happened in this game at all. It was a terrible affair, but the point is we kept a clean sheet and we got ourselves a point, which is just brilliant. So yeah, that's what happened there. I mean, there's not much I can say about that other than we had a decent performance in terms of keeping Spurs out, who are a good side. In our next game, we kept our 4th straight clean sheet on TV against Huddersfield Town, and this one was kind of a double-edged sword for us, really, because both Watmore and, of course, Kenneth McAvoy had to go off injured. McAvoy was only out for a couple of... he's only got bruised ribs, I think, so it's only going to be 5 to 7 days, I think they said. So it's not too bad. Jed Wallace actually gave us the lead in this one with an absolutely beautiful header after Norman Millington's cross, obviously because he came on to replace Kenneth McAvoy. And it was wrapped up in the last few moments by Ali Burrell, which was good. But, you know, I think we would deserve the game. We were better than Huddersfield, you know, 4 clear cards. Huddersfield are not a great side, but they're still doing all right for their first season up in the Premier League. So it was a good win for us. I did utilise the control method that people have suggested in this game because I just wanted to see if it would actually work. It kind of did. Like, once we got ourselves into a 2-0 lead, I went on control and we just absorbed anything they could throw at us at that point. Most of this stuff was late on in the game when we'd gone on that control. Mostly long-range stuff. So all of this leaves us 11th in the league. But we do have a game in hand, and that game is today. So if we can win today against Nottingham Forest away, we will go up into 9th place. And suddenly right back where we were last season, really. We're right back in the pack again. We're now 8 points clear of the relegation zone. And could go even further clear today. So, in fact, a win today could take us 11 points clear of the relegation zone. So, yeah. We're doing just fine. We had a little bit of a stumble, but now we are back on our feet again. And we need to build on that and build and build and build. And also, if it was down to experience in the team, then why with our tactical changes have we suddenly started winning again? It's just tactics, you know. The teams are learning how we play, and they're learning it. So when they learn this tactic, we'll have to change it again, although I may just switch back to our previously working tactics. That's the kind of thing we're going to have to do. We're going to have to rotate around the 3 tactics that we now have that we know kind of work, basically. So that's the plan from now on. I do want to show you some things, though, just while we're here. We've got a little bit of extra time, just because there was only those 2 games this month, and there wasn't really a lot to talk about. What I want to show you is this. What am I doing? I thought it would have gone up a lot. So, as you can see, our net transfer spend, £26 million we've spent, although Stoke, as you can see, spent 26 million as well. They must have sold some players too, because I saw that their overall expenditure was 55 million, because it came up on the transfer summary. Liverpool have actually sold quite a few players, as have Arsenal, we've seen. But what I did find interesting is the fact that we are still, by far, because at one point we had like £3 million spending on salaries. But at the moment, we are still by far the smallest side in terms of salary. Like, Huddersfield Town are the nearest side to us, and they have got more than double what we are spending on wages still. And look at what we're achieving with how little we're actually spending. Also, notice how much Stoke are spending. 87 million. They're spending more than Liverpool. More than Liverpool. I reiterate that, because more than Liverpool. That is a lot. I'm surprised QPR are spending so little, because at one point their wage bill in real life was higher than Borussia Dortmund and Atletico Madrid the year that they won La Liga. So yeah. There we go. Right, let's look at the squad for this month. Kieran Griffiths is only a couple of weeks away from being fit again, guys. I'm not kidding. Here he is. Also, yeah, look, 6 to 12 days. He's so close to being fit again. Oh, Kieran, we missed you. Seriously, him coming back is going to make, hopefully, everything all right again. I actually saw someone use the hashtag the other day, Griffiths is God. And I kind of subscribe to that, and when he comes back, and if he does something awesome, that is definitely going to be the title of an episode. I almost want it on a t-shirt. Griffiths is God. Anyway, moving along, let's go back and look at the stats. Get these back on overall. There we go. Right, goals. Top goal scorer for us at the moment is Ali Burrell with 5. So we do need to pick that up a little bit, but hopefully he will do that in the meantime. Millington's got 3 and 3 starts, so that's not too bad, although most of them were probably off the bench. Assist-wise, Musonda has 5, which is good. Man of the match, Ali Burrell has 2, which is good. Pass rating, Crespo with 96. The guy really does know how to keep the ball. I just don't have anywhere to put him at the moment. That's the problem. I have to keep bringing him on the bench to play as a sort of defensive midfielder. I might even retrain him. He's still young. I could probably do that, actually. As for yellow cards, Marcelo with 3 and Webster. No reds at all this year, which is pleasant. Jeb Wallace is still our best performer there, but as you can see, Assenhuis has also, now that he's got match fitness back, he's starting to play that role very, very well. He's a very creative player, but he's got that defensive mind as well, which is why he plays that deep line playmaker role really, really nicely. And he and Ivancic have a nice little balance now, the two of them. I am looking at a guy called Borges from a Brazilian side. I think it's a Brazilian side. I can't remember. It's not been sorted out yet, so we'll talk about that in the next episode once the transfers go through, because I'm looking at a couple of not youngsters, but these like 22, 23, to bring in a couple of defensive midfield backups, basically, just so we've got a real strength in that area, so we don't have to keep playing Musonda there if we get injuries. I'd rather have him further forward. So, let's get into the match preview screen. A 4-5-1. Fair enough, lads. We're going to be structured because we're away from home. No changes to the starting 11. That's nice to see. And McAvoy is fully fit. He's no, okay, he's fine. On the bench now, I want to make sure that we've got the right players on the bench. Well, we pretty much do, really. Crespo is not really any place for him at the moment. So Saidi, Yanko, Osborne, Millington, Hyam, Mantum, and Powell. Powell really does need to get some match fitness. Like, I keep playing him and putting him in reserve games. His conditioning just isn't there at the moment. He's never fit enough to play. And that's not because he's played in a game really, really recently. I never put him in if he's going to be within a couple of days. He just can't seem to get his fitness levels up, so we need to sort that out too, but that's up to us to fix. Right, let's do this. A win at Nottingham Forest here, or just even keeping another clean sheet, would really desperately show me how good we are being in terms of goals conceded. That's one thing I was desperate to try and sort out this year, was goals conceded. And the start of the season with the 7 conceded against QPR was just awful. So hopefully we've sort of fixed that now, and hopefully, that being said, now that I've said that, we'll end up losing this game 5-1 or something, but we're going to do our best, you know. That's all we can do. We had 2 draws against Forest last season, one which we led 2-0 through 2 goals from Jerome Sinclair, which was then screwed up by me. That was totally my fault because I switched to a defensive strategy when I shouldn't have. Let's see what we can do. We are away at the City Ground. Hopefully our team can come up with something special. I really do want to win here. That would be awesome. It would give me the feeling of complete and utter safety. Then suddenly we're 11 points clear of the relegation zone. We can stop worrying about that and start looking ahead to the teams above us and the sort of games we need to try and win, basically. So we've had a few chances, well, not chances, but we've had some shots to start off with, so clearly things are going okay for us. Stankovic there with the long ball down by Billing. Feghouli, wow, Feghouli plays for Nottingham Forest. Billing, back to Kavlak, into Bennett. I don't know if that's Ryan Bennett or... Oh, go on, Ivancic, win the tackle. Ivancic was also Young Player of the Month last month. That's the first time he's ever won that. Kieran Griffiths pretty much won it every month last year. But it's great to see Ivancic win it because it proves to me that he is actually starting to get a bit more consistent. He's not been injured for a little while. He's played a consistent string of games, and he's finally starting to look like the player that we feel like he could become, basically. And that's just brilliant for me. I really do want to see him progress. Chris Cohen, we probably should close him down. Musonda here. Up to McAvoy. Will he have a little run at them? Drops it back for Assenhuis. Can he knock it through here for Burrell? Gets a touch. Oh, it's blocked. But Wallace is onto the rebound, and he should have done much, much better there. Wallace definitely should have scored. Burrell probably could have got the shot away a bit quicker, but Wallace on the rebound there. It's an empty net, mate. You have to do better than that. It's a shame he didn't put that in the net. That would have been a moment. But the fact is, we've been better here. What are we doing in terms of that? Pass into space? Yeah. Because we're not getting a lot of the ball anyway, so... That seems to be our best opportunity. But maybe we could try and... Actually, let's just turn that off now. I'm tempted to just... Yeah. Try and keep a little bit more of the ball for this game. I don't want to turn things like retain possession on because we just lose it. I have tried this before, as you remember from very early in the series. We did try the whole possession game thing and it just wasn't going to happen for us. They've come right back towards the end of that first half. We need to be careful here. Is there anyone that's looking really, really jaded already? Kenneth McAvoy is a little bit, but he's already... I've not really got anyone that can play there at the moment, so we may just have to persist into this second half a little bit. What can we change? They didn't really have a single chance, which implies that we've probably got defensive stuff about right, but it's the attacking stuff that we probably need to work on a little bit. Is there anything we could do? Let's run at them a little bit more. We've got good dribblers of the ball. Let's try and entice them into some tackles, maybe win a penalty or something. Oh, also, we've not actually had a penalty at all this season. I was looking at the stats, basically, and yeah, we've not won a single penalty this year. Whereas Liverpool and Man City have got 6 each, I believe. So, yeah, just like real life, it would seem, as Liverpool had 2 penalties today. Oh, my God. Now, do we go for Norm or Nick Powell? How's Burrell's fitness levels? He's 84. He's actually okay. Right, I'm going to bring on Norman to play in there because... Oh, actually, am I? No, we're bringing on Nick Powell to play in there. What was I thinking? He can play there. It doesn't mean he should play there. So hopefully Nick Powell isn't going to get injured today. It's another annoying knock for Charlie Musonda, though, and that is not wise. So fairly even, though. We have had that one really good opportunity, which I was very annoyed at us not sticking in the net. I would take a 0-0, yes, because it would keep us a clean sheet and get us another point on the board. But I would like to come up with a win here, just to prove that we really do still have it. I tell you what, it's an awesome ball. Oh, it's so poor. It was straight into feet, and Burrell can run at people, but not that special. Oh, bloody hell. I thought that was going to ricochet through to Ali Burrell there. I think it was Powell with the effort. And don't you dare let Jordan Rhodes win this. That's a better stuff there. Powell again winning it. Knocks it short for Burrell. But Powell needs to be busting a gut to get in behind there. That's my thing. That's my problem with the way that he plays that role when he has. He just does... I've got it set to get further forward. When they're... Oh, there we go. It's 1-0 Portsmouth. Nottingham Forest 0. Portsmouth 1. Ali Burrell again. What a hero. Oh... You'll never win anything with kids, as they said. And to be fair, when Alan Hansen said that about Man United, when they did play that game and lost to Aston Villa back in the 90s, they changed a lot of that team and won the league with very few of those actually playing, from what I remember. So he's kind of right, but the fact is they did still bring through so many good players that they did still win a lot with those kids. Right, let's see what else we've got. Making another change around about now would probably be quite wise, just to try and sturdy things up, so I might make a defensive change. Oh, okay. Wallace whips it in. Ivancic! Oh my goodness gracious me. Nottingham Forest 0, Pompey 2, Tony Ivancic. And that's his second goal of the season, and suddenly we're getting some goals from him. And this game looks to be put to bed now, but what I really do want to do is keep a clean sheet in this one. Lovely little dinked ball over the top. This looks like he had 2 goes at it. No, just a good strike from Ivancic, and that is 2-0 to Portsmouth. Right, time for a change. This is why we need another defensive midfielder that we can bring on, because look at they get quite knackered because they have to do a lot of running, basically. But what I am going to do is actually bring Millington on for McAvoy instead of bringing him on in front of Burrell, because Burrell's still quite fit and McAvoy isn't. And Millington could play that role quite well. He set up Wallace's goal in the last game. 2 goals to the good here. Probably time for one last change before we get any injuries. As you can see, Assenhouse is getting absolutely knackered here. So we're going to go for Mantum. He's a bit more of a ball winner, basically. There we go. Hang on, why is he so knackered? Oh, Nick Powell just seems to get knackered very quickly, doesn't he? Right, so we're still set to counter. Everything seems to be going very, very nicely. Can we get a 5th straight clean sheet in the league? That would be absolutely glorious. Oh, you're joking. Nick Powell, he cannot play without getting fucking injured. Well, we can't make any more subs, can we? We've just made all 3 of them, I think. Oh, no, have we? No, we have, haven't we? Because... Well, hang on. It doesn't feel like we've made a sub. Yeah, of course we have. What am I talking about? Well, we've got no choice there, have we? Just gonna... Yeah, do that. Doesn't matter, we are going to win the game now, and looks like we are going to keep it. Oh, please don't concede now. I really do want to keep this clean sheet streak going, but another couple of injuries today, and it just seems to be constant with the injuries. I just don't know what to do. We just can't seem to stop getting injuries all the time. Our training intensity is low. Like, so I don't really... Oh, dear. Somebody put a tackle in. Please don't let them score here. Oh, don't let him score here. What a save from Bachmann. So that's the thing. He is a good goalkeeper. It's just the glitches in this game sometimes allow. Like, also, someone wanted me to check on his communication stats. So I'm just going to do that now. If that is even a thing. Communication, 12. For me, that isn't bad. So I don't think that should be a problem, really. He should be able to communicate with us just fine with a 12. So, good win. Again, lovely stuff. 2 assists from Jed Wallace. That's better. That's more like the Jed Wallace of old. Burrell and Ivancic with the goals. But the worries for me are Powell and Musonda's injuries. I can't afford to lose 2 more attacking midfield players. Not before Kieran Griffiths comes back. But there we are. We're up to 9th in the league now. Negative goal difference has disappeared. We are now right back in the battle. And that's where I like to be, basically. Also, you'll notice that our project of expanding the stadium, which the board did, is a go-go. Also, I've just remembered this now, we got given some more transfer money. Because of how good our financial situation is, we now have another 4.1 million or £87,000 a week. That's kind of been switched around a little bit. My point is, it was, yeah. So, that's good. Yeah, okay, whatever. This is David Borges, the guy I said I was trying to go for, but we'll talk about that in another episode. Let's just take a little look and hope there's no serious injuries. I don't want to see some red here. Oh, it looks like we got away with it. I think, guys, we've managed to get away with it. Well, there we go. So it looks like no injuries for us from that game. Thank God for that. So that leaves us 9th in the league, and we are now really starting to cook on gas. Some tough games coming up now, though, and I mean tough games coming up. And that is all going to be in the next episode. Oof, Jesus Christ. If we take any points from the next episode, I'll be very happy. Although we've got Southampton, so we've done well against them last season. You never know. So, it'll be the Arsenal game. God, we play Arsenal a lot in live comms. Just seems to be the way it is, and I'm pretty sure we're playing on the last day of the season in the live com too. Yep. So if you're an Arsenal fan, this might be quite entertaining. So, if you guys like what you've seen, please feel free to drop a like on the video, and if you like it even more than that, please feel free to subscribe to my channel for more Portsmouth and Red Star Belgrade in your inbox every single day at 5:30 and 8 o'clock, and I will see you guys in the next episode for the Arsenal game, and hopefully by then, God will be back. I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.